It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. Good afternoon and welcome to the Citi Prime News. The news is live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Ajuatin Krama Domina. Coming up.
Before we can proceed to take the questions, I want to recommend that we suspend sitting for just about 10 minutes and we'll come. So let's first... No, please, Honorable.
Appointments Committee of Parliament forced to suspend sitting following heated exchanges over vetting of President Akufo-Addo's Supreme Court judges' nominees. Also coming up, New Patriotic Party in the Suhum constituency sacks party's communications officer and deputy Nasara coordinator for supporting incumbent MP to run as an independent candidate.
It's clear that anyone who claims or support for another political party or for an independent candidate, and when the party has sponsored one, that person so automatically forfeits his membership.
Still in the bulletin, newly built Pasingpe STEM Senior High School in the Northeast region flooded after 5 hours of downpour.
So as I talk to you now, the campus is just flooded. Where the students are not affected, where the students are, luckily the students' dormitory are a bit far inside, so the students are not affected at all.
And later, teacher trainees in the northern sector demand compensation for stranded trainees due to protracted SETA strike.
Through the strike period, trainees across the 46 public teacher training colleges in the country have incurred great losses, of which mentions can be made to financial and time, hence trainees should be compensated for the losses incurred.
Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. Remember, this bulletin is live around the globe on citinewsroom.com. On YouTube, you can find us on Citi 97.3 FM. Across the country, we are live on a number of affiliate stations in the Western region. This is Premier 100.5 FM in Takrade, Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Bunu region, J Life 95.5 FM in Sunyang. In the Ashanti region, Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, this is Global 105.1 FM in Ho Adanu, 107.7 FM in Adaklu Woya. In the Northern region, this is Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale. Upper West, this is Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. In the Upper East region, this is Source 100.1 FM in Boko. And in the Northeast region, Scalp 101.3 FM. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for your company this afternoon. Let's begin from the Appointments Committee of Parliament. And the Member of Parliament for Boko Central has challenged the powers of the President to appoint more than 9 judges to the Supreme Court in addition to the Chief Justice. Now, he made this known at the vetting of new Supreme Court judges appointed by the President to replace 2 justices who are due for retirement. Mahama Yarga argues that the Constitution sets the number of Supreme Court judges at not less than 9 in addition to the Chief Justice. Well, he notes again that such an act is in clear violation of the Constitution. Let's listen to Mahama Yarga, who has been speaking before the Appointments Committee.
There is nowhere in this Constitution that the President is given the power to increase the number beyond the 9+1. Nowhere. And I challenge anybody in this room to show me any provision in this Constitution that says that even though Article 1281 says 9 plus Chief Justice at the minimum, and you don't have an upper ceiling, that the person to decide that upper ceiling is the President. Who said the person to decide that upper ceiling is the President? Who? To show me which provision. That he can, anytime he feels like, and I'm not talking about this president, previous presidents have done that before. So it's not about this particular president. Any president, anybody should show me anywhere in this constitution where power is given to the president to increase the number above 9 plus 1. No such power is given to the president.
That was Mahama Yarga. He's a member of parliament for Boko Central. Well, let's head to parliament now and speak to Hansen Ajiman, who is there, has been following proceedings for us. Hansen, good afternoon. Thank you for your company this afternoon. We understand the committee has suspended sitting. We saw some agitations in the House earlier, some disagreements. Walk us through exactly what transpired today and how long they are going to take the break for.
Well, so after the objection was raised by Mahama Yarga, the question now was how the committee ought to continue. Should the committee vet the nominee and then include its opinions on the legal objection raised by Mahama Yarga in its report to the plenary for decision, or should the committee hold on to the vetting in its entirety and refer the question through the speaker to the plenary for a determination before the vetting will be undertaken? The minority believes that the latter ought to be the way, and so Mahama Yarga moved a motion which was seconded by the minority leader, Dr. Kesela Tuforsen. But the majority on the committee are for the former and believes that the committee will have to continue with the vetting. But the minority believes that before any decision will be taken, the vote on the motion raised by Mahama Yarga should be held. And based on how the votes will go, then the committee will be so guided. And so it is that disagreement that we witnessed on TV. And so as a result, they have decided to suspend sitting. The chairman of the committee, Honorable Patricia PJ, indicated that the suspension was for 10 minutes, but the minority indicated that it may take more than 10 minutes. I must say that they, at this point, have done close to about 6 minutes out of the said 10 minutes that they indicated to suspend sittings for. But for the minority, they believe that deliberations will go beyond the said 10 minutes, and the nominee is currently within the committee room. Journalists who are here to cover proceedings are also here, awaiting the final decision that the committee will take. Essentially, for Mahama Yarga, his point is that if you look at the 1992 Constitution, it says that the Supreme Court is made up of not less than 9 justices of the Supreme Court, in addition to the Chief Justice.
Right.
And so if you look at it, it's 10 people. But if you are supposed to go beyond that 10, who's supposed to determine? And his answer that it is obviously not the president.
Hansen, per your interaction, what have you been picking up? Are they likely to settle on the issue before they return so that we can proceed with the vetting?
Essentially, that's what they seek to do. Now, if you look at the standing orders of Parliament, decision-making at the committee level first is supposed to be taken on consensus basis. And so they have been mandated by the standing orders of Parliament to try as much as possible to take their decisions based on consensus. And so that is what they'll be seeking to do with this meeting. If that consensus do not yield to any meaningful decision taking, then obviously they may be forced to take the vote on that motion, or perhaps adjourn sitting totally and later communicate back to the nominee and to the Ghanaian populace and on what the vetting will be.
We do know that they've already suspended this vetting earlier. Now, if this is going to go into another suspension, it will be twice. You mentioned the nominees were seated when the exchanges were going on. What was their expression? What was it like looking at their faces?
Well, these are the first nominee that took the seat is Justice Sophia. she is a Court of Appeal judge, and of course, banter like this is not new to her. And so, obviously, she's seen such banters in proceedings that she's presided over, all the way from the High Court to her days at the Court of Appeal. And so, it is not clear to tell exactly what her demeanor really is, because this is something that she's witnessed for a number of times.
Right.
Also, there was a Court of Appeal judge present, Dr. N.S. Owusu-Dapa, as well as the Judicial Secretary. But definitely all of them had the same face, having reported from the court. They train themselves not to give their views on matters to people who are observing.
Very well. Thank you so much. Hansen Ajama is reporting from Parliament's Appointment Committee. Let's remind you that we'll cross over to the Appointments Committee when they do resume sitting. But for now, let's move on from that story to some others. And the New Patriotic Party in the Suhum constituency of the Eastern Region has suspended 2 of its officers, Samuel Ba, the Constituency Communications Officer, and Alhaji Bala Abubakar, the Deputy Nasara Coordinator, for violating the party's constitution. Well, in an interview with Citi News, the constituency Secretary Stephen Odame explained that the Constituency Executive Committee reached this decision during an emergency meeting. Now, the committee reviewed the conduct of the 2 officers and found that they had breached the party's constitution by publicly campaigning and declaring support for an independent candidate, despite the party having officially sponsored another candidate.
In pursuant to our constitution, the MPP constitution, particularly Article 391, that's amended in 2017, is clear that anyone who stands on an independent candidate or officially against an officially elected party member, or who joins or declares his or her support for another political party or for an independent candidate, and when the party has sponsored one, that person so automatically forfeits his membership. And these are provisions that are clear. And it's an automatic provision that is not subject to any disciplinary procedure. Ordinarily, the conduct of every constituency officer, the suspension of every constituency officer is to be exercised by the Regional Executive Committee. But in this provision, once you lose your membership, then the foundation is broken. And because you can also be a constituency officer, you need to be a member. Once you have lost your membership, then your position also stands suspended. And so we took inspiration from those provisions.
You have a New Patriotic Party to whom Constituency Secretary Stephen Odame. Let's now move to the opposition NDC, because yesterday they launched their youth manifesto, and this afternoon the party is expressing openness to stakeholder proposals for reviewing its proposed policy to scrap academic fees for level 100 entrants, if it's in the forms of the next administration rather. Now, this promise they made during the launch of their youth manifesto in Accra has sparked mixed reactions from the public, particularly due to concerns about challenges similar to those facing the implementation of the free senior high school policy. Now, a member of the NDC Manifesto Committee on Education and the Member of Parliament for Busa South, Dr. Clement Park, defended the party's proposal in an interview on the City Breakfast Show this morning.
In the various engagements with youth groups and other stakeholders that we have had the opportunity to confer with, the idea of giving them no fees stress, free tertiary education for first-year students, level 100, came up. And I can assure you that this is a policy that has already received overwhelming support. And I believe that, as announced by our flag bearer, we can find the resources to execute this policy proposal. So while I concede that there is a need for a broader stakeholder debate on education in general, we believe that our current proposal should not discriminate, and we are going to move forward as we plan to. But of course, unlike our colleagues who refuse to allow for a policy to be reviewed, we will subject our policy to review.
You heard Dr. Clement Park. He's Busa South Member of Parliament, also a member of the NDC's Manifesto Committee on Education. This is a Citi Prime News live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. When we return, we have more reactions on the NDC's Youth Manifesto campaign launch and some other stories. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Imagine a one-stop shopping experience for all things made in Ghana at the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Get ready to explore the remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services with the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Now Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM invites you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services in the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies that Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, we shall support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors. The date, 31st of August and the 1st of September 2024. The time is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. And the venue is the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Call us now on 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how to participate. The This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, Koa Natural, Ghana National Gas Company, Ghana Pay Mobile Money, FIFA Beverages, Ghana Exim Bank, Petroleum Commission Ghana, Global Share Alliance, and Built. Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
The grand finale of the Literacy Challenge 2024 is here. Congratulations to our top 10 finalists. But the big question is, who out of our top 10 wins the ultimate prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis, the Glitzy Trophy, and the bragging rights as the Literacy Challenge winner for 2024? Support your favorite student, support your school, and let's promote literacy in Ghana. Tune in live to Channel 1 TV for the grand finale on Saturday, 17th August 2024 at 12 noon. Call 0205-973-973 for more details. The Literacy Challenge 2024 is powered by Citi FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and is sponsored by Ghana National Gas Company, Alive Soap. Feel fresh, feel alive. From the House of Wilma Africa Limited. Fortune spread for bread. Yummy, delicious, always on point. Another quality product from Wilma Africa Limited. Ribby Biscuits by M4 Foods and Prospectus Ghana Limited. Your one-stop shop for all school items.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, the Africa Education Watch has proposed a means testing approach to the National Democratic Congress's promise to pay for the tuition of level 100 students. The party, during the launch of its youth manifesto yesterday, promised to pay the tuition of level 100 students when it wins power in the 2024 elections. Well, speaking on the City Breakfast Show, however, Executive Director of the Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, argued that a more prudent way to invest meager resources will be to invest in the 4-year education of students who cannot afford at all, instead of spreading it thinly to involve everyone only at level 100.
200,000 students are qualifying for tertiary. So if you have about 140, entering tertiary, you should have in mind that 50K are not entering tertiary. If 20K of that number entered nursing training college, some 30K are not entering tertiary. Now, the research suggests that cost barriers to access is the main reason. And that's why we haven't reached our cost tertiary enrollment target of 40%. It was set at 40% in 2018. The baseline then was 18%. As we speak, we are still around between 18 and 19%. If you have this challenge and you have money to spend, I think the first consideration should be equitable spending efficiency, because the number is huge. So you have to spend efficiently, and the best way you can spend efficiently is to identify those who are not able to go special because of financial reasons, and then give them more than the 2,000 Ghana, because the cost of tertiary in a year is 15,000 for humanities and 17,000 for STEM and CVET. So if you gave 2,000 to one person, yes, they'll be able to honor their application, but that's not all they need to survive through the whole year in year one, and that's not what they need to survive through the subsequent 3 years. They need at least 50K for the 4 years. I mean, in terms of the real value.
Kofi Asare is Executive Director of the Africa Education Watch. Let's stay on the NDC's Youth Manifesto campaign launch and Mahama's town hall meeting subsequently, because the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, has commended the flag bearer of the opposition party, John Mahama, for his pledge to scrap the COVID-19 tax introduced by the government if he wins the 2024 polls. Now, Mahama, speaking at a town hall meeting yesterday in Bukom in Accra, criticized the COVID-19 related taxation in Ghana, stating that the country is still burdened with taxes for a pandemic that has since been over. In an interview with Citi News, President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, urged Mr. Mahama to consider scrapping all other existing taxes that are unfavorable to the business community and negatively impacting the economy.
I think in all this, we have to sit down and evaluate most of the taxes, and then so that we can bring them to the barest minimum. So taxes will be affordable, and then compliance will also go up. That's what we all have to do as a nation. We want cost of doing business to come down. And so any measure, any policy that help in that direction is welcome for us. And so it is a welcome development. And we want the special import levy also to go. Some of these taxes have become nuisance taxes, and that if we do away with them, it is going to help tone down the cost of doing business in the country, to give us some respite that business requires to grow.
Dr. Joseph Obeng is president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Let's move on now. A 5-hour downpour has caused severe flooding at the Pasimpe STEM Senior High School in the West Mamprusi district of the Northeast region. The rains left many residents in the Pasimpe community stranded. Now, school authorities attribute the flooding to the absence of culverts in the ongoing construction of roads in the area. Headmaster Amadou Mahamadou Timbela told Citi News that academic activities and administrative activities have not been disrupted, but he asked that efforts are being made to expedite the construction of the necessary culverts.
We had a very heavy downpour, almost about 6 hours of downpour, and as a result, the school got flooded. And the flooding is just because of the fact that currently there is an ongoing construction works on the main Pasimpe-Wulu route. So at the moment, the contractors, they have leveled the road all right, but there are supposed to be a number of culverts along the route, and these culverts have not yet been constructed. So as a result of that, whenever there is a heavy downpour, water flowing from the northern part of the school towards the south easily enters the school campus, because there are no culverts to carry the water from the western part of the school to the eastern side of the school. So as I talk to you now, the campus is just flooded. Where the students are not affected, where the students are, luckily the students' dormitory are a bit far inside, so the students are not affected at all.
Amadou Mahamadou Timbila is the headmaster of the Pasimpe STEM Senior High School in the West Mamprusi district of the Northeast region. Now, a group calling itself the Association of Teacher Trainees in Colleges in the Northern Sector have petitioned Parliament to summon the Minister for Education to answer questions on the protracted strike by members of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG. The group is, among other demands, also asking for the compensation of trainees who have incurred financial losses due to the long periods of staying in school without academic activities. In addition, they are requesting Parliament to facilitate constructive dialogue and find lasting solutions to the intermittent strikes by CTAG. Here are excerpts of a statement from the Association of Teacher Trainees of the Northern Sector, read to you by Philip Nilati.
We are petitioning the Honourable House through the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education as members of the Teachers Trainees Association and registered students of colleges of education who are the primary victims of the absence of our lecturers in the classroom from 14th June 2024 till date as a result of an industrial strike by the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG. This industrial action has propelled the undersigned students to humbly put a petition before this August House to intervene in the prolonged CTAG strike, which is ravaging our academic pursuit and could imperil our future in contravention of Article 25(1) of the 1992 Constitution, which guarantees the right to education. The strike's persistence, despite assurances from the Minister of Education, has plunged us into an abyss of uncertainty, despair and hopelessness, violating our right to equality before the law and protection of academic freedom. We humbly wish to put it before this revered House that through the strike period, trainees across the 46 public teacher training colleges in the country have incurred great losses, of which mentions can be made to financial and time, and trainees should be compensated for the losses incurred.
Those were excerpts of a statement from the Association of Teacher Trainees of the Northern Sector, read to you by my colleague Philip Nilati. Let's stay with education because the management of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, is urging the government to consider hiring more lecturers to address the growing student population. According to the KNUST's management, this challenge is not unique to the institution, but rather a widespread issue affecting all public universities in the country, necessitating a comprehensive solution. The Vice-Chancellor of KNUST, Professor Rita Kusua-Dixon, has been making these concerns known during an appearance before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament.
You talked about increase in student numbers. You talked about recruiting lecturers. Would you say that you've recruited enough to meet your student population?
No, please. The answer to that question is no. We still are student SDRs, the student teacher ratio still needs to be worked on. And this is not just for KNUST. I think that across the universities, we need help with that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I will agree with you because you said this to us at the Education Committee as well. We'll continue to urge government to allow you to recruit more lecturers. Very necessary.
Well, the KNUST Vice-Chancellor has also expressed worry over the disregard for speed limits on campus by students following the tragic death of a student identified as Azo Ahaji. Azo was struck by a vehicle while riding her bicycle along Clubhouse Road on the KNUST campus last month.
It's quite worrying. And sometimes when they even get to the speed ramp, it's like it's a race. And depending on how you are able to gallop over the speed ramps will show the strength of your car. The security services on campus, led by the head of security, are doing their very best. And we continue to work closely on that to ensure that no student who has come to seek education to lose her life or his life in this manner. It's quite, so we are working on that. Now, you ask about the bicycle lanes. Indeed, we are having discussions with our transport the transport unit. It's a research unit that we have in the College of Engineering. And this conversation is going on because the more they would be able to ride safely on campus, probably the lesser cars will be able to have.
You had the Vice Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Rita Akosua-Dixon. Thank you so much for listening to the Citi Prime News. Now, Parliament's Appointment Committee is back, so let's cross over and listen to them. They suspended sitting briefly because of some disagreements. Now they are back. Let's hear them.
The chair should